about having a distorted view. Barbara Walters taking heat for going easy on Vice President Joe Biden. This week on The View, she even said this.
I don't think there's much doubt that you're a superb Vice President.
Michelle, a superb VP. Why all the kissing up?
You know, these are the people who are supposed to be holding this president accountable, and they're not. Instead, they're kissing up to him. If Barbara Walters and others had done their job and actually looked into the damaging policies of this administration, we wouldn't have had Obamacare. We wouldn't have had these disastrous policies. I think that they are partially to blame for all of this.
Katie, softball in February in New York City, I didn't even know it was a sport.
Well, it is now, apparently, and Barbara Walters is the team of that, or the captain of that team. But I think that the bigger issue is, of course, The View, we know, is more like a talk show. I don't know how I would consider them serious journalists. But the problem is that when you do have a mainstream press that doesn't hold the government accountable, then we see government corruption going unchecked, which ultimately sets a precedent for both Republican and Democratic administrations down the road to continue that bad behavior. So I think it does have a negative long-term effect on our policies and the way that taxpayers have to pay for policies that are bad.
Sure. And one, you know, I watched that interview, and all the while the vice president was talking, you know, Whoopi was like, yeah, nodding approvingly. But if you listen to what he was saying, he was basically talking to women saying, look, a lot of you out there are single women, you have crummy jobs, you're just working for the health care, and no one held him to his feet to the fire. I couldn't believe it. By the way, if a GOP-er said that, there would be the next war on women coming from the right.
Yeah. Wait a second. First of all, you know, Vice President Biden is very popular with the American people. This is not just Barbara Walters of The View somehow, you know, pumping him up. That guy is a very popular American political leader.
But
Second
the
thing to
administration's
say
policies
is,
aren't
if you
popular.
think about the office of the vice president and what Dick Cheney did while he was there, maybe that's why people say, oh, wow, you're a superb vice president. Remember that.
Okay. Should we be in awe of the vice president? I mean, this is just absolutely ludicrous.
Well, Eric, I mean, Juan is right. The vice president is popular with the American public. The president is popular with the American public because the American public and the media, by and large, share his values: collectivism, self-sacrifice, altruism, and this is American culture these days. And if you're an individualist, if you're out for self-interest, if you believe in capitalism, what does the left tell you are? You're extreme, you're dangerous. I mean, and the GOP, Eric, I got to tell you, I think is even to blame. I mean, they're not talking about getting rid of food stamps. They're not talking about getting rid of government involvement in healthcare. In fact, Dave Camp is talking about, he's a GOPer, talking about a surcharge on the wealthy. Right. So we need a political party to stand up for the individual.
You want to know
we need a cultural revolution in this country. That's what needs to happen.
I give my right arm to have 5 minutes on tape with Vice President Biden or President Obama. I guarantee you we wouldn't be talking about some of the things that the lovely ladies of The View are talking about. We're going to have to leave it there.